All right, guys. So year 4, season 4 is now upon us. It's been with us for almost half a week now, and I wanted to go ahead and talk about it. I did a live stream of my initial thoughts on it when it first dropped on Thursday, but I felt like those were just my initial thoughts. Those were just my first thoughts at seeing it. But now that I've had some time with it, really looked at the battle pass and some of the new things on it, I really want to take some time and talk about what I like and what I dislike about it. And after mulling it over, thinking about it for a while, I've come to a conclusion. This is a really, really cool season. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff to talk about in it. The new hero is really cool. I like Gryphon. I think there's a lot to like about his character, a lot to like about his moveset and abilities and his feats, a lot to like about his design. I also like the battle pass. I was a little iffy on the steampunk theme, but it's growing on me. It's kind of cool, so it's not as bad as I was thinking. And the art looks great. Everything about the art, the eclipse art, the brightness, the glow effect, the kind of shadowy stillness in the background, it all looks fantastic. I really, really like it. And even the testing grounds changes that they brought about are really unique. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk very briefly about each of these facets and tell you very briefly my thoughts on them. So to get things started, let's talk about the art. So the art, first and foremost, is gorgeous, as I said before. They're going for an eclipse kind of feel, so they're mixing a lot of golden and yellow rays and shadows together to make awesome silhouettes and army backdrops, which looks really neat. I think that the whole idea of darkness meeting light is really good, but there's another facet to it. When you have an eclipse, something is overshadowing the other. So what we're seeing here is we're seeing a war between the light and dark, and one has to overcome the other. One has to eclipse the other. Also, eclipses historically have been seen as turning points, usually as omens. So perhaps this is an omen of something even bigger on the way, and which is what I want to get into. This is the next big thing that I want to talk about besides just the art. But one thing that people have been wondering is, what are they going to do with season 5, with year 5? Is there going to be a year 5? Well, I mean, obviously, I think there will be a year 5. We're getting a new update to 60 FPS. We just got a new hero. It'd be retarded to just get rid of For Honor after just releasing all this new stuff. I think that they've got more planned for year 5. I think it's going to be really cool. And I think that they're changing up the faction war. I think this is all my opinion. This is my theory. But I think that they're going to change up the way the faction war works. I don't think it's just going to be decided by knights, Vikings, and samurai fighting each other. I think it's going to be a two-way faction war between the Order of Horkos and the Chimera Alliance. Is that a bad thing? Not necessarily. I mean, as many of us will attest, the Vikings have won almost every single matchup. They've won almost every single one with only a few exceptions. I think this will be a cool way to shake things up. I don't know how it will impact anything. I don't know if we'll have to change up our faction or shield emblems, but I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I think that's the direction they're going. I think that's the way they're going to make it. So, with all that said, yes, I think all of that is what's coming, and I think that's a cool, unique idea, more of a two-way war, which will be very interesting. Now, with all that said, let's talk about the Battle Pass. I do want to talk for a minute about the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass is introducing some very steampunk-style things. They're releasing steampunk-looking weapons. Some of them look really cool. They've also got some new embossings like Gryphon kind of looks, which are really cool. They've got some new they've got some signatures which involve smithing some weapons, which is really neat. I think it's a little weird that the weapons that they're smithing aren't unique to each faction. They just all look like broadswords that you would see in Europe, but it's not bad. It's a cool idea. I like some of the new outfits that they're going with. The weapons are hit or miss for me. Some look really cool, some look really bad. And then they've also got some new effects, which involve a clockwork style bird effect, which reminds me a lot of the villain Clockwork from Sly Cooper, which I just think is a real cool thing. The only thing that I'm not a big fan of is the execution. It's basically a steampunk time bomb, and it doesn't really impress me that much. It's not that cool. It's not that impressive. It's just one of those things that, like, hey, it's there. It's definitely there. Yeah, not really my thing. But hey, if that's your thing, I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's something that you can appreciate. But the big one that everyone wants to talk about is the new hero, Gryphon. So who is Gryphon? What is he based on? Well, I'll be doing a complete video on Gryphon. I will do a full-on video where I discuss his moveset, where I discuss who he's based on, his story. I'll go into all that in deep detail, but I want to wait until I get to a higher rep, because right now I'm only at rep 3, and I want to get him to a rep 5 at least before I talk about all that stuff. I want to make sure that I'm fluid and very used to his form and style. But what I can tell you is the basic lore behind him and what I think he's based on. So firstly, the lore is that he's Holden Cross. He's Holden Cross trying to redeem himself. He's changed his name. He's changed his weapon. He's trying to be more multicultural and understanding of all the factions. He's tried to reinvent himself for better or for worse. I think that there are some holes in that story, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think that there's ideas behind that. I will say I think it's dumb that this isn't an actual organization of warriors like what the warmongers are. The warmongers, you could say Astria is the leader of the warmongers, but there are different warmongers. They are a group. Gryphon is just one person. It's not a group. It's one person, which makes it really weird when you're in a Dominion or Breach map or something and there are 2 or more Gryphons. Are they just Holden Cross clones? I think that the developers didn't think that one through. How are people supposed to appreciate their own unique Gryphon? Here's what I love. I love how people say, "Oh, the developer said, oh, you kind of make your own story. It's your own story being made." Yeah, okay. Then how can I make a story when one of the characters is one of the story mode characters? Astria is not Apollyon. You can have an Apollyon war set, but Astria is not Apollyon. You can have multiple warmongers. Here, though, it's Holden Cross and only Holden Cross. All the faces look the same, and there aren't enough helmets to cover the face to make it seem like it's someone different. That's the only problem I really have with it. It's like, it's hard for me to make him my own Gryphon character when it's clear that it's Holden Cross. As for what he's based on, I'm going to stand by my initial assessment. I believe that he is likely based on the Varangian Guard. And in my video, I will go into all the reasons why I think that Gryphon is based on the Varangian Guard. But again, that's all for that video. All in all, I can go ahead and say that I really, really like his character. I really like playing as him. He's a lot of fun. But the big question that people have been asking is he better or worse than Warmonger, the other hero who came out this year? I have an opinion on that. It will shock you. But again, I'm going to save that for the video. I'm going to save that for the dedicated video that will come out later. Once I've had some time to go over his moves and really understand him better. Because my opinion might change. But as it is right now, nope. I have my opinion and it's set. But anyway, I will deal with that as it comes. So, Final thoughts about this season. I know this wasn't a super long video, but I wanted to get my thoughts out there. Do I like this new season? Yes, I think it's awesome. I think this is going to be really cool. I definitely like it so far more than I did last season. The update to the Beachhead map is excellent. That's such a good update. The testing grounds changes. They're giving a buff to Peacekeeper, which I think she needed. A buff to Nobushi, which I think she needed. I mean, definitely she needed, because she was one of the weaker characters for a while, and I think she's finally getting some love. Warden's buff, I don't think he needed it. I don't really think it was necessary. He was already a top-tier character, in my opinion. It's cool, but now I think he's going to be way too OP. I think they're going to need to tone that back. What they've essentially done is allowed Warden to get more shoulder bash opportunities and have side finisher heavies that are unblockable. I don't think he needs one of those. Get rid of one or the other, and I think he'll be fine. Giving him both just makes him unbeatable, I'm afraid. I think he will just be too difficult to deal with. Victory! The Peacekeeper update is that she can now do more soft feints and can get an unblockable finishing heavy if bleed is applied to her opponent that she's locked onto. That will allow her to bait more easily and make her a better contender. Victory! Nobushi has gained more soft feint options as well as finishing heavies that are undodgeable. This will help her because I know that the one problem that a lot of Nobushis have dealt with are people who just run away from her or roll away from her once she starts going into lights, and then they complain, "Oh, all Nobushi does is light spam." Well, it's all she can do when you keep dodging out of the way of her heavies when she tries to throw them. The only thing she has at that point is her lights. So I think that giving her undodgeable heavies was probably a good idea. We'll see how it works out. So far in the testing grounds, I've liked the outcome. I've liked how they've turned out, so I think that's good. Victory! Shugoki's change, though, kind of a mixed bag. On the one hand, yes, I'm glad that they took away hyper armor from his lights. That means he can't just sit there and trade lights with you all day. But on the other hand, I don't like that they took away his hyper armor for his Demon's Embrace. That makes the move almost unusable now. Because here's the reality of it. The point behind Demon's Embrace is it's supposed to be a bait technique. You start with a heavy and trick your opponent into thinking you're about to swing a heavy. And so what they do is they throw their own heavy in an attempt to parry you. Then you run and embrace them, and because you have hyper armor, their heavy hits you, doesn't stop you, and you still get your embrace in and take some health back. But now what has happened is he has no hyper armor, so if you try to bait them, they're going to swing that heavy, and you're going to try to hug them, and they've hit you, so they cancel your hug, and you take damage for it. The bait is useless, in my opinion. So I think that needs to be given back. I know that a lot of people hate his Demon's Embrace. I know a lot of people think that it's a cheap move, and yes, I agree, Shugoki's overuse it, but find another way to fix it, like maybe get rid of it, increase the amount of stamina it takes to do it, or make it so that there's a limit to how many times he can do it. Like, give some kind of drawback, but don't take away its hyper armor, because then there's just no way it can connect easily, you know? And I know what you're thinking, oh, but it shouldn't be easy. Yeah, but some characters need help, you know? And Shugoki's already dealing with a slow movement speed. We're taking away hyper armor from his lights. He needs a little bit of help there. He's got to be a tank. Give him some tank abilities. This is hurting my feelings! But that's just my opinion. So anyway, guys, I am very much enjoying what they've done. I'm liking what this season is looking up to. And there's been a couple people that I've seen online in Facebook chat rooms and on Reddit and on YouTube videos saying that the season looks dumb, or what I've actually heard is the new hero looks dumb, Gryphon looks dumb. A lot of people saying that. And what I will say to all that is,
why don't you come and see for yourself if you won't take my word for it? I came here in the spirit of right goodwill, and I won't let you dampen it. So a Merry Christmas to you anyway, Uncle. And a Happy New Year.
Good evening.
Give it a chance. Play through it a little bit. Because I know that there are some people out there who just want to be negative. They want to be negative to the game. They want to be negative to the developers. They want to be negative to the heroes. They just want to be negative. And I can go ahead and tell you, negativity does not help this game. It does not make this game more fun. It does not make people want to play the game. It just makes people want to put up the game until people, start acting like mature adults about this. And so I am going to give this season a chance, and I think it deserves that chance. It looks great. They've clearly put a lot of effort into this season. I'm excited to see where it goes. And if it turns out that it doesn't go anywhere good, it isn't as good as I thought, okay, that's fine. It didn't go where I wanted it to go. But that's fine. At least I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. And that's the point of any game. It should be fun. And I am having a lot of fun. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about the season so far. Do you like the new hero Gryphon? Do you think he's fun? Are you enjoying the move sets? Are you enjoying the new executions? And I want to just say his executions are phenomenal. All 4 are great. I'll be grading all of them in his own video. Look forward to that video. Do you guys enjoy the battle pass? Do you guys enjoy this kind of steampunk theme going on? Do y'all like the art? Let me know in the comments what y'all like about this season and what y'all are looking forward to most. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Really helps me out, guys. Also, I'm going to drop a link to my Teespring store in the description box so that y'all can send some love my way and purchase some merch if you feel up to it. Gonna also post a link to a site where you can read some of my other stories. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really look forward to hearing from you guys on the Discord, and I will talk to y'all later. Take care.